Aquarius, this is a love tarot reading for Valentine's Day. Now, I only do them once a year, so does this last a year? Well, maybe. It's not really time bound, but certainly we're talking of reasonably long-term energies here. And therefore it's no surprise that most of the spreads have had something of a twist in them. But then let's face it, my readings often do. And particularly, well, no, my readings often do. Let's leave it at that. It's often about love not being quite as what you think it is. And if you look at that central card, you're seeking something new, and that dominates the entire reading. Are you trying to find out what love really is? Maybe. The recent past, we have the Three of Cups. It's a card of working together, but this particular rendering suggests to me a ménage à trois. I think either you or a partner, significant other shall we say, has been cheating in the past. Now, I think as a result of maybe a breakup of that, or maybe you didn't even break up, but you're playing around a bit, you're scoring some what you see as victories. Either whoever is at fault here, there is karmic justice coming in for them. Now, your response to all this and what creates the outcome is you going off on a new journey with a wide-eyed innocence. So I think you do cause an end to a relationship. Now, what would help in this situation, because I don't think it's a great reading for you, what would help is if you were a bit more stoical and said, yeah, I've been here before, I've seen it all before, I know how to deal with this, but chances are you won't, and you're going to end up depressed, seeing the worst in everything. So I don't think it's a great reading. I've got to be honest, Aquarius. Please stick around to find out what I really make of it. Now, the card whose energy runs throughout this entire reading is the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands by itself is not a bad card at all. I mean, other tarot readers will tell you there are no good and bad cards, and of course that's true. But in the context of a love reading, it suggests to me that you're looking for something different. And it could be that you're looking for a different interpretation of love. And partly that's why I use that rather incongruous introduction clip, because people have different conceptions of what love is. Some people do see love as about bestial conquests. Some people do see love as control, ownership. But I don't think that's what's going on here. I think you're just seeking something new. I think you're fed up with how things have been and you're looking for something different in terms of a different person. That's what it feels like. In your recent past, we have the Three of Cups. Now, traditionally, all this means is working together with friends, people that you enjoy the company with, to create something. But you look at this rendering, and there's that boy between their two girls, and they both look to have got their designs on him. This suggests to me that somebody has been cheating. And now, if you remember, I said the overall feeling is you seeking something new. Now, I'm not necessarily jumping to the conclusion that it's you that have been cheating, but it could have been. It could have been your partner. And that's what makes you seek something new, because you realise that things aren't as maybe you thought they were. But I think in the past this has shaken this relationship. And does it mean that this relationship's abandoned? Well, there's nothing else that says it. And maybe you've decided as a result of it, and you might have decided it between you, to have something of an open relationship. And I don't know, I've got a feeling that that's much more likely. And the next energy, and this is your current energy, is that of scoring some victories and public recognition. So, you know, my idea of an open relationship may be right, mightn't it? Scoring some victories, and of course going back to my opening scene, you know, equating lovemaking with love. You know, you think that love is about lovemaking. And, well, no, I won't get into it. What I was going to say is, at a really deep philosophical level, to a certain degree, it is, but they're not the same thing. And, do you know, I think what this reading is about is that realisation. So, you know, you're seeing love as, if you like, notches on the bedpost. And you're doing pretty well. But as we'll see, I think you find out it's hollow. Now, we have the Judgement card, which is a karmic judgment. Why is there a karmic judgment? And this is in the future. It suggests to me that there was some sort of manipulation going on here. And now, you know, if we use that open relationship analogy, then I suppose if everything's in the open and you've discussed it, then there isn't a big moral issue. I mean, you know, I mean, I'm a Muslim, and many Muslims would say that sort of thing is completely haram, forbidden. But it's the manipulation that I think is wrong. And so, I mean, it might be that one or other partner is lying about, I don't know how many partners or how close they are to a partner or something like that. But the other manipulation could be much more subtle. And that is that they made an open relationship sound attractive to the other, because really they were growing away from the other, and it won't revitalise things. I don't know, these are just examples, but there is going to be karmic justice coming for I think you, to be honest. Now, I've just said that I thought that karmic justice was coming for you, and I'm going to take that back. And whilst I think you've thrown yourself into this open relationship, I don't know if you watch on this platform, there's those shorts, there's a few do it, about throuples. I'd never heard of a throuple until I saw it on YouTube, I've got to admit, you know. And whenever I watch it, I can't help but feel that not everybody is entirely happy in the relationship, even though they make out they are. And you see, what I think you've done is you've thrown yourself into this experiment, as it were, this open relationship, this throuple with a wide-eyed innocence. And you do score some victories, you do. You've entered it with an open heart. So I don't think you're the manipulative one. But nevertheless, I think you're being manipulated, and I think the dawn of that manipulation does lead to depression. Now, all I'm doing is picking up on energies and how they will impact on your personal psychology, conscious and subconscious. You do have free will and you can change things. And a big juncture to change things is by using the energy of saying, well, I've been here before, and how did I deal with it? Now again, this is just about energies, so you may not have been in a open relationship, a throuple, before, but you've almost certainly been manipulated before, and you will have overcome it before. So if only you can be a bit more stoical, I think things can end up much better. But that's the energy you need to go with, yeah. Now, why I've been so pessimistic is the upshot to all this leads to your depression, leads to you only seeing negativity, not seeing a way out of what you perceive to be your problems. You look at it, he's lying on the bar drunk late at night. And, do you know, I was reading, I suppose it was in a paper, but, you know, I read them online. I mean, I don't actually get newspapers. But I was reading the story of someone, and it was a man, you know, he wanted to have an affair with a work colleague. So he suggested an open relationship to his wife. And I think his relationship with the work colleague didn't last. But in the meantime, the wife was getting loads and loads of sexual partners. And he became jealous and depressed. And it's that sort of an energy we're talking about here. It's not a particularly nice energy, is it? And I mean, you know, maybe that's the reason why in Islam we say that adultery is haram. But on the other hand, you know, males are allowed 4 wives. Now, I realise that's a completely different moral position to what most of you will have. And, you know, I don't think I'd ever have 4 wives, even though theoretically I'm allowed to in Indonesia, you know. But, you know, it's a different take on this moral position, isn't it? But it's because it does lead to these problems that many people can't handle. Many can't. Well, we can summarise for you, Aquarius. Aquarius, this reading goes to the very heart of what love and relationships are all about, and I think you're trying to work that out, but you don't come out of it very well. I suspect that somebody you considered to your partner had an affair, and what I want to say to you is that I think there's some manipulation going on here with your partner, and they are going to receive karmic judgment for it. And I think they suggest something like an open relationship to you. And, you know, you're curious, you grab at that, and at first you rather enjoy yourself. You know, you're getting what you want or what you perceive love to be. Conquests. And the very public conquests, people can see what's happening. And, you know, you throw yourself into this new sort of relationship with a wide-eyed innocence, but you're being manipulated. And maybe the reason your partner suggested it is that they actually don't care so much about you, and this person that they had an affair with is who they really want to be with. But you throw yourself into these open relationships, but at the end you realise how hollow they are. You realise they're not giving you what you want, and you probably realise that you're not loved by the person who you thought loved you. And that leads to a great depression. And now the way through this malaise, and it is a malaise, is to be stoical. To think, well, I've been in this position, or I felt this sort of energy before, and I did overcome it. So how did I overcome it? Now, you may never have been in an open relationship before, that's not what I'm saying. But you'll have been in a position where you've been manipulated and you've gone off and done things, and it's led to unhappiness. So think of those energies and feelings and how you got through them. And if you can be stoical, things will end up much better for you. But what I would say to you is, you've been manipulated, and karmic justice is coming for the person who's manipulated you.